Warning, this video contains spoilers from the Final Fantasy XIV MSQ.
It contains major spoilers from the story of every expansion. You have been warned.
For this list, we're looking at the characters who made us feel feels, cry for...
Or cheered and laughed because we finally beat them.
Yeah. And number 10 is the girl in green, Licinia. A small part in the Endwalker MSQ, we meet Licinia in Garlemald and learn about the tragic life that Garleans live under the rule of Xenos. Try as we might to help Licinia and her friends, we face a bit of heartbreak when we find her and her sister at the end of the trail killed by beasts.
At number 9, we have Ahawan, a character many of us knew as the Satrap, brave proxy of Rithra and protector of Thavner. During the Endwalker MSQ, we saw him do everything he could to protect his people. When the final days began to rain down on Eorzea, Ahawan surprised us all when his life was sacrificed to save another, and the feels didn't stop with the MSQ after that.
The elephant and the baby.
Trigger warning! Trigger warning!
Number 8 brings us another tragic story that was a weird twist of redemption. Yotsuyu was the villain we all wanted to step on us and later became the amnesiac ward of the kindly Gosetsu. Just when we thought her life was taking a turn for the better, Asahi shows up and ruins everything, leading us to the trial where we took her on. In the end, she sacrificed her life for the greater good, taking Asahi with her. Kinda.
At number 7 is a flashback to the Realm Reborn days, where we fall in love with the adorable sylphs. This could be one of the first times we were warned the feels would not stop coming. I think we all remember the day our characters walked into a devastated Waking Sands and found the broken body of poor Neuraxia struggling to live. No amount of healing was going to save our forest friend, and we had to lay Neuraxia to rest with the others.
Number 6 is an old friend from our days spent in Heavensward. Originally seen as a villain, we quickly learned Isael was on our side, for the most part. After summoning the Primal Shiva, Isael joined us on our journey throughout the expansion. In the end, she sacrificed everything to help our cause and hers. As her broken body lay dying, we all shed a few tears for the Elezen who would only see her desires come to pass in an incorporeal form.
Number 5 is... Wait, why do I have to do this one? Because we're actually getting into the serious feels now?
Because we...
I know it's too hard. I can't read the script.
Fine. I'll hold myself together. Number 5 was one of the largest shocks the MSQ threw at us. Shadowbringers brought us the kind and caring Tesleen, whose sole purpose was to help those turning into Sin Eaters transition in the most loved and peaceful way possible. When this sweetheart of a woman tried to save one of her patients, we sat back in horror as she was turned into a Sin Eater herself. Later, we had to choke back our tears as we took on Tesleen in Holminster Switch and put her to rest.
Number 4 is no better. The stalwart thaumaturge that we fell in love with when we first started out in Gridania. The voice of reason and the reason Ida never tripped over her own feet. Our favorite, well-mannered, sassy Lalafell accompanied us through 2 expansions, offering his wit and knowledge as we continued to call him friend. As we listened to him say, "I bid thee farewell again, dear Ida," we knew the waterworks were turning on. Sorry, I need a moment. Papa Limo sacrificed his life for all of ours, and we were greeted by him a final time in Endwalker as he encouraged us to take one more step.
In at number 3 is a character who was with us until the final days. A character we began the game with and ended this chapter of Aetheris by finally knowing who she is. Vena, or Hydaelyn, was an Ascian who escaped Hermes' time trap with the Warrior of Light and set in motions the very events that would sunder the worlds. As she suffered through all of this, she knew a time would come where her champions would rise up. Transformed into the primal Hydaelyn, she gave us one final gift to save the universe by making certain that we always walk in the light of the crystal.
Now we're moving to the worst of the... Nope, I can't. I will not remember this.
Come on, you got to. Pull yourself together.
Come on. We'll hold your hand while you read it.
Number 2 is... I need a second. Okay, I've got this. Number 2 is the knight called a bastard by many, but he was our bastard, damn it. The valiant and brave Haurchefant Greystone. He fought alongside us with the strength and valiance of 10 Ishgardian knights, rescuing 2 of our dear friends and proving himself to be a warrior of light. In the attempt to rescue Emeric, Haurchefant jumped in front of a spear meant for the warrior of light and sacrificed his life for ours. His words will forever stay with us as we remember that a smile better suits a hero.
I'm supposed to say before we get to number 1... You
Like and subscribe, but it's just not right. It's just not right.
Like and subscribe, folks. We need the ad money to pay for therapy. You can do this, Gio. Come on.
You're doing this to me because I could do the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Our top character murdered by the MSQ is the most loved villain I have ever seen. The Ascian who wandered alone for millennia, pining away for a life he knew. A man who would sacrifice everything to bring back his people. The smart-assed, intelligent, and haughty Emmett Selk. We met him as the founder of the Garlean Empire, a secret kept by the Emperors. As we moved into Shadowbringers, we learned that Emmett was not only an Ascian, but one with immense power, and one who missed his people dearly. Though we hated to see him vanquished by us, the Warriors of Light had to take Hades down in order to save the Source and all of the shards. As he left us, we couldn't help but promise that we would always remember them, and remember that they lived.
Well, that concludes this horrific walk through the MSQ.
No, it doesn't. I've got one more special person to add to the list.
Who?
Gio, if he doesn't stop sassing me.
Ninja Vanish!